Alright guys, everybody in Genshin, welcome back to Genshin Impact, and here we are today or tonight or whatever, and I was given a question of what are my characters so far, and what are my builds for each set of characters and everything.
I wasn't waiting for
Okay.
you.
Let's I guess just let's kind of go through the characters first, and then we'll do some demonstrations of some of the parties that I've got set up here and stuff, and we can kind of go through it one by one. So first of all, this is my list of characters over here. I have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters in the 70 range. I'm currently working on this guy. I think it's a guy. And then I've got 3 characters at level 80. Mona, Diona, and Xiangling. These 3 are very good together, and they work well. So I figured those would be the first 3 that I would get up there to 80. When we had a lot of those events going on where we had options to get a whole bunch of other books and things for XP and level up and stuff. Then we have a couple of well, Beidou is currently the only level 60 character with this guy right on our heels, and then a couple of 50s, and then a whole bunch of 40s down here. So we're hopefully getting close here to getting everybody to a level 70 here pretty soon, maybe another 2 weeks or something, and we should have everybody up to a level 70, and that'll be really good, because then I can build out for whoever and whatever. So I guess we'll just start at the top. So here's Mona at level 80. Here's her stats. And what I've been building her for is energy recharge, and so she's at 218.5% on energy recharge. So it's basically every time that she does anything, she can hit her Q or her phantasm, orgasm, whatever it is, and she can just devastate enemies over and over and over. And her crit damage and crit rate are pretty high, so that helps. And you can see here that her electrocharged is increased by 75%, and her superconduct as well, or sorry, not superconduct, but vaporize is increased by 30%. So she has pretty good damage overall because of her elemental abilities here and stuff. So then Chongyun, or Chongers as I like to call him, here's his stats. He's currently level 70 and he's ascended. Then for what he's going for, I was trying to go for more energy recharge on him where possible, just because of his ability to get his ice abilities back up and running to freeze the enemy, because he pairs very well with Mona. Then for Sucrose, she's level 80, huge elemental mastery going on here for her swirl damage to be increased by 127%, and nothing really amazing or exciting here for her. But what's exciting for her is her weapon, as she has the sacrificial fragments, so she can cast 3 of her E ability over and over and over, typically. Then for Diona, she's running a healing maiden in order to get as much healing as she can out of her Q, since that's where she is meant to be, is to kind of heal, at least in my group and everything. And she's got a huge energy recharge, so that way she can get that Q out onto the field to pair with Mona to freeze over and over and over, while at the same time healing everybody in the party. Then Klee, she's just kind of like overall damage here. Huge crit damage, good energy recharge, got over that 15% crit rate mark, and she's got pretty good elemental mastery here for melt, vaporize, overload, all these things. So pretty good there. Then she gets some extra pyro damage, but she's really powerful. Then for the Traveler, level 70. Obviously get the geo damage, and she has an artifact that has animo damage on it. I'm trying to get that one replaced here pretty soon. But she has a pretty big elemental mastery coming from her sword to give the Crystallize a good chance at giving her big damage reduction as much as possible. Venti, he's just basically here for the Q, so good energy recharge on him as much as I could for now. For Jean, she's basically running just some healing, some energy recharge, some really good crit rate and crit damage here, but nothing too amazing on Jean. And then we'll go through all the items and stuff. Then Diluc, he's just basically as much damage as I could get out on him, and really good crit rate, really good crit damage, and pretty good energy recharge as well as increase in pyro damage. So nothing too amazing there. For Xiangling, she has really good increase in HP, really good crit rate, really good crit damage, and nothing to energy recharge because it's not really why I use her. I use her mainly for just getting lots of attacks out very quickly and just getting as much damage onto the field as possible quickly. For Ningguang, she is my shield bearer basically. She has a very high crystallize ability here to increase the damage absorption. So that's really why I have her. She is the key for me to beat the Oceanid, and that's what I run her for. Then Fischl, she's...
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin de
Okay. And but for Fischl, she has a really good crit rate and crit damage to get the most out of her bow, as well as some fairly good energy recharge, but I don't use her Q that often, so it's kind of a waste, but oh well. But it's basically for her just really good auto attacks, really fast auto attacks, lots of auto attacks. For Xingqiu, this guy is slowly up and coming here, haven't used him almost at all, just a little bit here and there just to see how he does. But mainly for him is going for Hydro and Energy Recharge to get those Water Swords out. Because if he is out on the field, he can replace Mona and pair up with these three for some really good freezing abilities. Then for Beidou, for her, it's basically kind of a mix of a grab bag here of try and do some Elemental Mastery, some crit rate, some crit damage, and some energy recharge. But really she's there just to kind of wreck the enemy in the event that they get a little crazy. She can take a lot of damage and a lot of hits and everything before anything happens to her.
If you ever want to trade tactics,
really good abilities on her. Then Noelle, she's just kitted out for massive amounts of defense here. As you can see, I've almost doubled and tripled her defenses here, which is really good. Then she has the powerful shield increase, so she can take more damage on her shield, and then she has a pretty good crystallize to increase that shield damage reduction further, but Noelle's pretty good. Then Barb, kind of stopped using her after a while here, but she's basically just healing, nothing interesting there. Kaeya, I haven't used him in forever, don't even remember what he's doing except flipping coins. Razor is the newest addition, I got him a little bit ago. So I've kind of been trying to kit him out with some elemental mastery here, just to see how he will do with that. But I've seen a lot on him, so kind of want to just see where he goes, as he's kind of one of the newbies here. Then Lisa, haven't used her in a while. Xinyan, she came fairly recently here as well, but I've kitted her out with some crit rate and damage and some shielding, since that's kind of what she does, but nothing too amazing for her yet. And then Amber is here at the bottom, so that's the crew right now. Excuse me. So Mona, I've currently given her the Solar Pearl, which I got from the Battle Pass, since that was available last time, I went ahead and picked this up. Then her artifacts here, we'll go through the flower. I have the Exile flower, so that way we get the extra energy recharge on her, and then this flower has energy recharge, so that's all I really care about for this one. Then for the feather, again, energy recharge, reasons, and elemental mastery, so that's good. But crit damage is also nice for what she's got going on, just because of her really high crit rate. And for the timepiece, big energy recharge here, and some just basic numbers here, but the elemental mastery is nice. Then we're going for the Wanderer's Troop 2-piece set in order to get the increase in elemental mastery, so that way we get more damage on those electro, whatever it's called, and the Vaporize. Vaporize is really where I get the maximum damage out of this. And then energy recharge on this, I got real lucky at 11%, and then crit rate and elemental mastery, and then just some good attack on the Wanderer's Troop goblet here. Then for the hat, I have a crit rate hat, which is nice to have, and then I got an energy recharge and crit damage, so this all worked out pretty well, and then some attack and just some additional attack there, so nothing too incredible, but what I got, I started using it, and I started maxing things out, and it worked out pretty well. For Chongers, I went with the Bloodstained Chivalry in order to hopefully, if he kills anything, he gets that additional attack damage and reduces his stamina to 0 for 10 seconds. But I haven't found myself using this too much, so I think the ice abilities coming in the new 1.2 update from Dragonspine will probably go to him more so than what he's doing right now. But we'll see about that. So just a regular flower here. And a feather, same thing, nothing really too kitted hard for him, just some random things here, whatever I had lying around for Bloodstained, some extra attack and different things. Then for the hat, I just went with more crit rate, just for why not. So yeah, nothing too special for him, but just mainly for him, it's the energy recharge from his weapon, which has a 58.5% increase to energy recharge from the Favonius Greatsword to again make sure that we get that big energy recharge here, so he can have his ice swords coming down all the time. Now he is currently 0 constellation. I guess I should show that for Mona. She's 0 constellation, and her talents for the Stellaris Phantasm one is currently here, and so I need a couple more books to level these up, but these are both level 7, and her auto attack is I need one more. Her auto attack is level 6, so working on those currently to try and get those as high as I can. For Chongers, we haven't done too much here for him because I need more of these pieces of grain or whatever, guided diligence, to get these leveled up, but I'm mainly using him to freeze folks, nothing too amazing there. For the unicorn here, Sucrose, she is yielding the sacrificial fragments for massive elemental mastery here. Then for her, I'm running the Viridescent Veneerer, and Venerer, I don't know. And these, I was mainly going for elemental mastery and energy recharge, and the bonuses here on her set here is just too good to ignore. And then here for the feather, it's more elemental mastery. Crit rate was nice. For the timepiece here, elemental mastery, I got lucky, and then it has attack, crit rate, and damage. So everything that I kind of wanted. If HP would have been turned into energy recharge, I would have considered this probably the perfect one for her, but that's pretty good. And I'll take it because elemental mastery is what's at the top there, so that way it'll work really well for her. For the goblet, got a just basic attack one. It's kind of the best one I've had out of everything I've farmed for, and it had some crit rate, so I was like, okay, why not? Then for the hat, again, attack, energy recharge, and elemental mastery. I was happy about those. I don't really care about these two. I mean, I would wish for others, but this works just fine. For her, she's currently a 1 constellation, so this is very nice because this increases her charges to having 2 available, And from her weapon here, she gets a 40% chance to basically get another charge for free every 30 seconds on her E ability there, on this Animo 6308 option thing that she does, and so she can do 3 of those back to back to back to back, and it along with her Q, so you can have 6 of those energy blasts in quick succession, fairly quick succession, paired with other elements. It's absolutely bonkers damage. Then for talents, these are still requiring more Guide to Freedom, so I'm working on those, trying to get those up, but these two are really important to increase first, as I kind of was leveling this up, and then I was like, what am I doing? I need to go for these first before the basic attacks, but she does really well for what her setup is, and we'll go through some demonstrations. Then for Diona, like I said, she has the huge energy recharge on her bow, the Favonius Warbow, so she can get even more energy recharge out of her auto attacks, and for every character for her, and it's every 7.5 seconds, so she has like really good chance to get lots of energy. And why that's important is because her elemental healing here, when she does her Q, so we have big energy recharge, big defense for her, and lots of HP. Those are all good things. Energy recharge here, HP, very good. Then here we have attack, but this was the only good one that I got with the passives here, was defense and elemental mastery to get more damage out from the freezing and such. But we'll see. I'll probably have to switch that out in the future. For the goblet, I got a cryo damage one with HP for the gladiator, but I didn't really care what it was as long as it had cryo damage. I could have gone for a different cup like this, but because I already had 4 pieces on the Maiden Beloved, the gladiator seemed fine to get HP on there. And then for the hat here, the Maiden Beloved, I got the healing bonus one, which is great. And so she can recover about almost 4,000 HP per character when everybody's healing up. So that's really nice. So she does really well healing overall for the party. And since she has a monster of a energy recharge here at 173 almost %, she can get that Q out onto the board quite a bit. Then Zero Constellation, obviously, and then her Q is maxed out currently, and the Icy Paws, I need to upgrade this as soon as I get another item from the child fight, but who knows when that'll be, probably 25 years from now, when I'm dead and gone. And then her auto attack, I just kind of stopped on this because I don't really care about what that is, but all it needs to do is just auto attack, and then I'll get extra energy from this ability here, Windfall, on her weapon anyways. So anyways, moving on to Klee, I gave her the Widsith because it has really high crit damage, and as well as it gives her a really good bump here no matter what whenever you switch to her. So it's really nice. For 10 seconds you switch to her and she can do some massive damage. Then for her artifacts, I went with the Crimson Witch, so let's start with the flower. So for her, it really didn't matter. If it was Elemental Mastery, if it was crit damage, that's fine. If it was attack, that's even better. You know, I really didn't care what she had almost. Energy recharge, attack, anything, it just didn't matter to me. It was like she can use it all. She can use anything and everything that you have. Defense is about kind of the weirdest thing that you would go for her, but it's okay to have a little bit of damage, or a little bit of defense there. Then this Lava Walker goblet was just too good to pass up, so I went ahead and gave this to Klee because it fit her and everything she absolutely needed to a T. I could probably switch this with what Diona has, but then I would have to give the cryo damage goblet to probably Chongyun, Chongers or something, and then he would be without the 4-piece set on the Gladiator, or on the Bloodstained Chivalry. So I like it how it is right now. It works out fine. Then for the hat, more energy recharge, elemental mastery, HP, attack, all the things that I need. Nothing interesting there. Then Zero Constellation, obviously. Talents, I've been upgrading the Jumpty Dumpty first and foremost because you get two uses of this thing, and it puts so many bombs out on the field, and to have that doing as much damage as possible is better. And then just working on everything else here for her, trying to get it as high as I can, obviously, but takes time, takes lots and lots of resin, and I just don't have the resin, so. Anyways, moving on to the Traveler, obviously we're getting these leveled up as high as we can go, and these alternate things every level, so it kind of is annoying that I have to farm, you know, books and pamphlets and all kinds of different things to get her to the different levels here, so, but oh well. For her, I gave her the Dark Iron Sword because it has Elemental Mastery, and because she's Geo, it plays in really well to her Crystallize here to give her a 60% damage reduction there. And and also if she does cause any kind of, you know, elemental reaction here, which she won't at the moment, but if I switch her to an Animo person, she can invoke those, and then she can do more swirl damage, and she can get increased attack. So when she's Animo, it works really, really well. For more damage, when she's Geo, it works really, really well for Elemental Mastery, so the Dark Iron Sword was a kind of a no-brainer for her. Then for her artifacts, I'm going for the Geo damage bonus on the flower. Then here we're going for Elemental Mastery since she's Geo, to go for that extra defense on the shields. And attack crit rate, I don't really care. It was mainly going for Elemental Mastery at this point. And here we have some energy recharge, so she can get that Q out there to get more shields on the field. Then here the Wanderer's Troop, obviously, and I need a different one that says Geo damage. But when will that be? I don't know, 50 years from now when I'm dead and gone, who knows. Then for the hat, just attack, more Elemental Mastery, crit rate, same thing. Yeah, just trying to get as much Elemental Mastery out of her as possible. Then for Constellations, obviously she's level 6, because that's what the Travelers are when you get done with the game. Then for Venti, for him, I gave him the Skyward Harp. I don't know, just going for some damage here for whatever reason. Then for him, the Viridescent set again for him because of his Q, and it will decrease the opponent's elemental resistance and increase swirl damage and so on and so forth, so this is really, really good for him. So I was going for as much crit rate and energy recharge as I could possibly get. So the Feather has crit rate, so that was nice. I was happy to see that. I got more crit rate and energy recharge on his timepiece here, so that was really, really nice. Fit into everything I needed there. For the Maiden Beloved here, it was a goblet that I had lying around. I mean, I could go for something else to kind of get different things here, but for right now, this is just fine for him. He does well enough. I only use him for his abilities anyway. So then here, more crit rate, good, you know, whatever. So nothing too amazing on him. He's just E and a Q to regen that Animo ability. Oh, and then for his Constellation, 0. For talents, basically going for his Q as high as possible to get this thing up as much as I can, and here it's no big deal. Okay, so for Jean, she's ascended, and I gave her the Black Sword because it has really good crit rate and it heals, and since her auto attacks heal, this is nice that every time she gets a crit, she gets 60% of her attack as HP. So that's really, really nice that she can get more healing for herself, at least, out of that sword. Okay, so for her set here, I gave her the Gladiator's flower because it was just kind of a generic one that I had lying around. Didn't have anything better at the time. Something like this might be better for her, but right now this one's a +12, and so it had a big HP on there, so that was good for her. Here we're going for more crit rate on the Berserker to go for crit damage, all that crit rate, energy recharge, and attack. So I'll probably stick with that for now. Here we're going for Elemental Mastery because of her swirl damage that she gets on her E and her Q, so that's very nice, and crit rate and crit damage again. Big scores there for her timepiece. For the horn, or for the goblet, we were going obviously with the Berserker to get to get more attack, crit rate, get that bonus 12%, and recharge and Elemental Mastery for more of that swirl damage. Then for the hat, since we have really high crit rate, I figured I'd give her the crit damage hat, and since it's a Wanderer's Troop, we can go for that extra plus 80 in order to have really high swirl damage. And for Jean, obviously she has 0 Constellation. For her talents, I've been going for her heal, mainly just because that's where her strength is, and her auto attacks, because the more damage that you get out of her auto attacks, the more you're going to heal. So that's really nice. And the Gale Blade, there's really no reason to level this up, as I just use it to push enemies around and kind of get them off kilter to crowd control kind of all the situation that's going on there. Okay, so for Diluc, he's got the prototype Aminus just because of that massive damage that he can do with it, and it increases his attack. Then for him, he's all Gladiator, so just really good Elemental Mastery, recharge, and crit damage since he has really good crit rate. Same thing, crit rate, recharge, all this stuff. Same kind of thing, crit rate, energy recharge, good attack on his timepiece here. And pyro damage, so anytime that he does his E or Q, he gets really huge bonus damage there for running those, and he has all good stats here on his card on the substats. So I was happy about those, and then got an attack helmet here. Probably could go for something different, which would probably fit him better. Maybe the crit rate. I don't know. But for right now, the attack works just fine, and he does really well. Now he is actually a 1-star or a 1 constellation, and then for his talents, been going for his regular attacks and his E more so than his Q, to make sure that this is as high as possible. I guess I could level this up, but we'll pass that when we get there. But he does really well anyways. He doesn't really need a lot of help to be good. So for Xiangling, the weapon is the Crescent Pike, as this thing is absolutely bonkers of an attacker. When she picks up an elemental orb, she does extreme amounts of damage. It's just crazy what she can do with this thing. Then for her artifacts, she is Gladiator, with crit rate and damage to make sure that she has as much of that as possible, so crit rate and damage. Then for her timepiece, crit damage and some attack there. And for her cup, crit rate, elemental mastery, a little bit there. Now I got unlucky on the roll, and the bonus value there went to defense, unfortunately, so hopefully in the future we can pick up some crit rate on that. Now I know that it is an HP cup, but I didn't have anything better at the time, as that's cryo, and some of these down here are kind of weird. I got an electro bonus one. The only one that's pyro is the one that Diluc has, and I want him to keep that for now. Then for the hat, I got another crit rate one, and this has crit damage and elemental mastery, so all good things there for her. So she's also a two constellation character, which is really nice. And this one is pretty cool, that the last attack in her sequence applies some pyro damage, which is kind of cool. Okay, then for her talents, I went for her auto attacks first, just because these stats here are kind of bonkers in how much attack damage that she gets out. And then Gooba is kind of leveled up a little bit, and then the Pyronado is pretty high. because this is a lot of damage that kind of sticks around for a long time on the other characters as well. Okay, so moving on to Ningguang here. So she is running Elemental Mastery. Now, if you want to, you can. I switch for the Oceanid fight. I switch her to with Sucrose's book, the Sacrificial Fragments, for that extra high Elemental Mastery. And if we do that, her Elemental Mastery goes very high, 385, and she gets a 96% damage absorption for Crystal Eyes. So all the shields that she's putting out are basically making you invincible, so very, very nice. I wonder if I get to 400 if it would be 100%, so that would be pretty cool. But that's kind of what I do, is I switch this book back and forth between the two of these ladies, and it works out really, really well. So for the items, the flower is all the Archaic Petra stuff to make sure that we're getting all that good, sweet crystallize action going on with the geo damage. So Elemental Mastery and Recharge were a must for her. So that's why I got a Recharge here. Crit rate's fine, I don't really care. Crit damage, fine, sure, but I need a new timepiece. This one definitely needs to go. Then here I got another Elemental Mastery goblet, which I was so happy about, and energy recharge on that, so perfect for me. And then the hat, I just had this one lying around, and since I already had a 4-piece set here on the group here, the 4-piece for the Archaic Petra, I just went with this one because it had big crit damage and good elemental recharge, so she does really, really well. For her, I actually got her a second time for a first constellation, so her normal attacks deal AoE damage, which is really, really cool. And then I've been concentrating on E and Q equally, and kind of lagging behind here on her regular auto attacks. But really, the main important thing from the auto attacks is just getting shields out on the field. Okay, for Fischl, I gave her the compound bow that you craft, and I got 2 of them so far, and I was able to increase that a little more. And it's a really, really good bow for her because it increases your attack by 5% and normal attack speed by 1.5%, for up to a total of 6% increase in weapon speed, and her up to a 20% increase in normal attack shots. So since she has a huge physical attack bonus, and her attack is very, very high, as you can see here, 1362, she just does that damage very, very quickly. Then I gave her the martial arts set for another 15% in normal attack increase. And we have some attack and crit damage here. I do need a new flower, one with four stats here, but I'll get there sometime in the future. Then for the feather, we went with obviously the martial arts to pair for that 15% increase in damage. Then I got attack and crit rate on this, so I was really happy about that. Here, this was an extra one that I had lying around, but it had energy recharge and crit damage, and it had attack up here, so that was perfect for me. And then here for the Berserker goblet, I have attack on that, elemental mastery, energy recharge, attack, and crit damage, so all this is very good for me and what I need for her, but then I get that 12% crit rate added on here. And then for the hat, I got a crit rate hat for the Berserker, and more attack and crit rate. So this does really, really well on Fischl. And as you see from her friendship, I've been using her quite a bit. She does really, really well in those scenarios where you need Electro at a range. So I actually got her first constellation here from the event with the crystals that were the meteor crystals. And I picked her up there for an extra constellation, and so when she's doing just regular attacks, she gets another 22% of her attack damage out on the field as well, so her auto attacks are absolutely just bonkers. She's doing like 3,000 damage on an auto attack, and it gets up to 6% faster because of her bow, so very, very good. So I've been focusing on her auto attacks more so than her other things here, and as you see on her Q, I haven't done almost anything on it because I don't really use it that often. It's just kind of a retreat or an engagement ability. And for Knight Rider, I've been leveling this up a little bit just because it's good to have Oz on the field attacking, but she absolutely does very, very well when he's not on the field. So really good stuff here on Fischl. She's my favorite character in the game so far. For this fella, we gave him the flute, and I'm still working on getting this thing leveled up. Tomorrow is Friday, so I can get that going. For his set here, nothing too amazing, but we're going for basically lots of attack on him as much as I can find. So lots of attack, lots of attack. Nothing too amazing, just lots and lots of attack for normal attack, damage, crit rate, everything I can get my hands on here for attack, as much as I can possibly find. So everything's here attack on him, and a martial arts. So at where he's at right now, having over 1,000 damage is pretty good for a weapon that's only level 50. So really happy about that. And here he's 0 constellation, just picked him up also, and I haven't gotten to a point where I can actually level up any of his talents yet, but we'll get there. I'm hoping to replace Mono with him eventually, so I can have an all 4-star squad, but either way, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he's pretty good at this point. Then for Beidou, I gave her the Rain Slasher because it messes up Hydro and Electro damage by 20% here, and it has really good Elemental Mastery, which then plays into Electro Charged, Superconduct, Overload, and everything here by 70%. So that's really, really good to have that increase in damage there. Then for her artifacts, it's the Thundering Fury 4-piece set here, and basically everything to do with attack and crit damage as much as I could find, or Elemental Mastery. So you can see these here, a little bit of HP, which is fine. This one was defense, but I wanted good defense on her anyways, so she doesn't take a whole lot of damage, so she has almost as much defense as she does attack. And you can see here that it's really good to have that extra defense put in there. Now I realize if that was added into your attack here, obviously she would end people quicker, but it worked out. It works out for her in a pretty good way. Then for the cup here, we got physical bonus damage, so anytime she's auto attacking, she's doing really good damage there. And then for the hat, I just have a simple attack, nothing too amazing there. For constellations, she's currently a 3 constellation character, so I've gotten her a couple times, which is nice. And then for talents, I've been going for Tide Caller, her E ability to get this thing going anytime that it's up and ready to go to smash enemies. And then Stormbreaker up there pretty high. And then this one, oh, I guess I could go for this one to get her auto attacks up higher, but I need some more monies, as I always do. For Noelle, here I gave her the White Blind from the forging in the shop back at home base, or back at Code Veins on my mind, back at Mondstadt or wherever. Then for the flower, we're going for the Bolide to get that shield strength. Nothing too amazing for her, just anything where I could find defense, I went for it. So here we have a defense. I'll have to be leveling this one up higher in the future, and that'll increase her defense even crazier amounts than it already is. So here we've got really good defenses on her. And then on the hat, even more defense. So she's up there pretty high, so very nice there. Constellations, I've got her down to 3 so far. And then I've been focusing mainly on her shield here, as that is where the majority of her amazingness comes from, because of her healing ability comes out of her E. So the more breastplate I have, the better. Okay, so for what's her name here? Barbara. We gave her the prototype Malice because of the healing and energy recharge and the HP. Now, a really probably the best alternative to that, actually this is probably better, is the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. Now, I did have a level 5 kind of maxed out book once upon a time back when I was young and dumb and naive, and I got rid of it. But so I've been trying to get this one back, and it's amazing when you hit the enemy, you heal your party, and then you switch to someone else, and then they get an increase in their damage. Really amazing stuff there. But, you know, I screwed it all up. Then for the flower, just kind of normal whatever energy recharge on her. Nothing too amazing here for her. Some Maiden Beloved for some of that, but healing benefit. But overall, it's get the HP and get the healing going. And here I have a healing bonus exile hat, so we'll have to be leveling this one up here in the future as well to get that healing bonus higher and higher. Then for Constellation, she's currently 5. I wish I could get her again to just go ahead and get the 6th Constellation here, as this would be really nice that she could heal somebody when they're dead. And then here, just concentrating on E and Q simultaneously to get those as high as possible. For Kaeya, really nothing amazing here. Nothing too interesting at all. I haven't used him in forever, so I don't really have anything to report on him. He's just a 0 constellation. I haven't really leveled anything up. I mean, it's as high as it can go right now. He doesn't even have his next ability here because I need to level him up even more. Razor, just got him, like I said a little bit ago, gave him the Bloodstained Greatsword. Seems like a pretty good fit for him. And then I went all out Gladiator on him. And crit rate, damage, and attack is kind of where I'm going to go with this fella. It seems like that's kind of where his MO lies. So everything, as you can see here, is really basic. Now I'm going for Elemental Mastery on this because of his Electro status. And he does a lot of Electro damage, especially when you get into his Q. And so that will help increase his Q damage even more, so that way when you switch to that, you get a big jump in damage there. So hopefully this will serve me well, and paired there with crit rate makes it even better. Then for his cup, he got electro damage, so again, we'll go ahead and lock that for his cup. As soon as he gets into that Q state and he's doing a lot of electro damage, he'll get a big bump there. And then crit rate for the hat to make sure that we're always hitting for big crits. So that's what we're looking for him. Currently he's a level 1, so good that he gets more damage. I'll always take more damage. And I haven't gotten the chance to level anything on him yet as well. So for Lisa, haven't done anything with her since kind of the beginning of the game. Nothing really amazing there. Nothing really amazing here, just kind of whatever element things that I've found to just throw on her real quick. We can go through them real quick. Nothing too amazing on her. It's kind of just whatever was left over in the pile, I kind of gave to her. So this is a really nice one here. Nice cup for the Crimson Witch, but it's Electro, and so it seemed like it would go well with her. And then for the hat, just crit rate and more elemental mastery for that, since she does all electro charged or superconductor or overload. That's where a lot of her damage is going to come from. So constellations, haven't gotten any extras. Talents, haven't leveled anything up, obviously, because I haven't used her in forever. But I will one day when everybody's up to level 70, we'll start working on elements and we'll start working on talents and stuff. Then for Xinyan, I gave her the bell, since it gives her massive amounts of HP. She gets another shield on top of her other shield, and she gets more damage when she's protected by the shield of the sword here. So that's pretty nice. I wish I had more of these, but I don't. For her artifacts here, nothing too amazing. Again, I was kind of running out of items, but at this point it kind of doesn't matter. Just crit rate and damage, crit rate and attack, defense here, because her defense will be really good. So I thought it would be worth it to give her a defensive goblet. And then here, more crit rate, so when she's doing her attacks, she can have a chance at getting some higher damage. Constellations, only got one of her so far, and I haven't leveled up any of her abilities here because, yeah, I just don't have the resources, because I don't have any resin ever. Okay, so for Amber, she's kind of just been thrown to the wayside, but I thought it would be a good idea for her to have the stringless, as this is an elemental mastery, and since she is an elemental archer, vaporize and melt, overload, I thought would be great abilities here for her if she's paired up with someone like Razor. She could do some really good overload damage there with her bow. I thought that would be a good way to go for her. Now for her abilities here, for her artifacts, I went with another set of Crimson Witch with basically attack and elemental mastery as kind of the MO for her as much as I could find, but I ran out of options kind of, and I didn't want to farm more, so I just took whatever I had. Excuse me, and I ran with it. So more attack here, elemental mastery here, good. Here, more attack, some HP, sure, whatever. Not the best artifacts, but definitely good enough to get the job done for whatever. Haven't gotten any more ambers. I like the rabbit. I like rabbits, so I think that's a nice thing for her. And then obviously I haven't gotten the chance to level anything up here because she takes Guide to Resistance or Guide to Freedom, and I need those for Klee and others. Sorry, Amber, we'll get to you someday. So those are the characters that I have at the moment. So as you can see here, this is my group that I have here. So let's head over to somewhere. Let's head over here and do a group of enemies here, and I'll show you this crew, how they work. And because everybody in this crew has very high energy recharge, it's constantly just spamming the abilities. There's really no real auto attacks that are kind of built into this. There's a few here and there, but it's mainly just to, as much as you can hit the button to get those elemental reactions going, then that's what you do. It's a really good crew, and I always want to be running Mona as much as I can to make sure that she's getting all that damage out from her Q as much as possible. And I don't remember the keybind because I haven't played on PC in a while. So where is key bindings? And it is left alt and then the, okay, good. Alright, and then let's go ahead and do this crew. So first is get up your shield, and then get this going from Chongyun, and then get this going, and there you can see the 3 attacks from what's her name, Sucrose here, that she got 3 of those attacks right away. So we could just kind of like wreck those guys, and we'll go for another round here. Okay. I don't even know what's going on here. Okay. Okay, and I guess we got these guys now. So Diona's up and ready. Okay. Okay, and we'll go for this guy. And good. And we'll do some of this. There we go. And we'll go for another Mona. And we'll get some more energy recharge here if we can. There we go. Okay. Okay. And go for some, whoops, if I can. There we go. Okay. Alright, so not the best here, but we're definitely making progress. Oops. Okay, she died. Okay, that's fine. Oops, this guy's down again. We'll go ahead and freeze him. We'll get Diona's this, and we'll switch here. There we go. There we go, we'll heal up here a little bit. There we go, we'll get this guy some ice going. And then we'll go ahead and finish this guy off with Mona. And so you can see that it gets a little chaotic, but you don't actually have to really look at what you're doing, because you can just kind of spam out all the abilities as much as you want, and it doesn't really matter because you're just kind of whacking all the enemies all at once. You have huge amounts of AoE, and you can just completely wreck everybody. Now I know we did kind of go down there a little bit with Sucrose, but oh well. The second crew I have is the Fatui killers, as we have fire, ice, water, and some more ice. So I can kind of show you how this crew runs. Let's see, where's my book? There we go. And let's go see these guys. Okay, we gotta go up here. So the AoE crew, they are good for running ley lines and different things like that, because you're constantly freezing and getting everybody up in the air with Sucrose and everything, and you have really good healing. As you saw there with Diona, we got her Q out twice, and with Mona we got her Q out 3 times. So that's really good to be able to get those Qs off as much as possible and as often as possible, to make sure that you're constantly getting that damage out on everybody. And and you'll notice that Diona is kind of the star of the show here, as she's a really good healer on the team, and she does really good damage absorption with her shield, while at the same time she does a really good job getting that Q out on the field to constantly have that ice damage going, to pair up with Mona to get enemies frozen, and at the same time she can get that up constantly because she has such a high damage rate, or a high recharge rate. Really good stuff to have a healer that goes all the time. And we got this thing here, but we'll skip that for now. And we'll just head on over to the Fatui brothers here, and we'll get those guys taken care of real quick. Okay, we'll hop up here. Now with this crew, it's all about keeping Diluc kind of out on the field and healed and powered up as much as possible with all of the other friends that are coming behind him. Okay, so if you see here, we'll get this guy frozen. Okay, we'll get a shield, and then we'll go for some ice damage, and then we'll go for fire damage. So it's really nice that, oops, that he can do that. But because both Chong and Diona have ice damage, you can constantly have healing on the field, because everybody will constantly do ice damage, and so Diona will be available with her Q even more often, because both Chong and Diona, okay, both Chong and Diona will be doing ice damage together. Alright, so for these bros, it's best to go for the water guy first. So we'll go for this, and we'll see how we go through the rotation here. Okay. Okay. And then we'll get rid of this guy. And then we'll get rid of this guy. Okay. Okay. And we'll get this guy frozen again and go through the rotation again. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and get some healing out here. There we go. And these guys just kind of disappear because once they're damaged, they sit down. So there's 3,500, 3,000. So really good energy, or really good health recharge there for those. And then we have who is the other crews I have here? So then for the Oceanid, this is the crew that I run to make sure that we have enough enough damage while enough health, while enough defenses out on the field. So if I'm going to do the Oceanid, remember, I would switch here with Sucrose. Okay, and then to go to the Oceanid is just over here. And it works, you know, obviously do food and get all of that going, but it doesn't work so well on mobile, but it works really great here because the input lag on the screen on my phone is really slow, but here on PC it actually works really well to have character switching and ability switching, and the buttons respond almost instantaneously, so it's really good to have. I don't know if I can actually beat this thing here, just giving you the demonstration, but we'll go through maybe 1 or 2 cycles here and see how the rotation kind of works with this thing. Alright, so it's going to be over here. So we first go... Oh, we got the birds. Okay. We'll go for this, and then we'll go for some shields here. So we have really good defenses now, and we'll just go for some extra damage here. Now we got lots of shields out on the area here, so we'll just keep these going. And there we go. There we go. And we almost got this one killed. And you see we don't take any damage. So let's go for a freeze here. Okay. Okay, and we got more shields out on the area here. So really good. First run there, or first cycle, just because of the fact that the birds can't do anything to us. All right, so we got these guys. We'll go for some damage there, and again get some more shields out here on the field to make sure that we are adequately protected. And then it's go for Diluc to end these things quick, if I can. While we have the other. Oh, this thing's recharging. But good thing I picked up another shield there. Where is it? Okay. Okay. And we'll switch to Diona to get that going, and then we'll go for some more shields out on the area here. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and blow this thing away. Okay, good. And more shields. Alright, so we're not taking too much damage at this point, so really good stuff there. And we got our Q on deck here for Diona, just in case we need some healing. So hello, Diona. Okay. And this crew, they do really well together, just because of their synergy and how they operate. So let's go for the healing there while we can. And then we'll go for hopefully big damage here to kill one of these things maybe. Okay. Now we need some more shields, so definitely go for some crystallize here to get some more shields out on the area here. And you see there we didn't really take too much damage from that thing. Okay. Okay. Now we're out of damage there, so definitely want to kill that thing quickly. There we go.
Don't waste my time.
And we'll get some more shields out here. Okay. There we go. And let's go for some more energy recharge here on Diona. If I can get a crit hit. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh boy. Okay, we missed there somehow. Okay, we got a shield, so that's good. Now let's go for some damage here. Now we're gonna have to run away as soon as we kill this thing. Okay. There we go. Alright, so this shield should help us a little bit. Yeah. Alright, so now we have to do our Q here. Okay. Okay. Now we need a shield here because we're in the middle of these big things. And we're going to need to head over here and kill these things if we can. Oops. So let's pick up one of these shields. And let's get rid of at least one of these birds, and or two of them if we can. Okay, we got one. Okay, Diluc needs to not get in the water. There we go. And let's get some shields going here. There we go. Let's go for this other bird here. And hopefully we can kill this thing while it's over. No! Stop! Oh no. Okay, good. Oz killed that thing, so now we can get over here and go for this fella. Now we might actually lose a character here from the stupid timing. There we go. Okay. Let's get some more damage out here, and then let's go. I'll come back. There we go. Okay. Now we're gonna have to hopefully kill this thing quickly, so we don't lose a character. Okay. There we go. Okay, and we'll get this going so we can get some healing here on Diluc. Ouch. Okay, and we'll go for some healing on Fischl, and we'll go for some damage at a distance here. Okay, and we can get some shields back here as well. Okay, and then let's go for damage. I hope the Oceanid doesn't kill me. There we go. Okay, good. So that one definitely took a little bit of different time there because of the amount of damage that we have to put out, and I just don't have that level of damage since we're going for a lot of shields here. But as you can see, everybody's healed up nice and high, and we got our abilities here ready to go. So let's see what crazies we got here. Oh, this is a good set here. Okay. I gotta get that shield. There we go. Okay, let's go for some big damage here. If I can maybe kill one of these. Ouch. Kill a squirrel. Yeah. Okay, let's head back here. Go for some shields and get some of this going here. So we can get our abilities here up in full. Okay. Now I'd like to kill the frog first, if I can. There we go. There we go. Kill the frog now. There we go. Now let's run away, and we'll let Fischl take the hit. There we go. Okay. Because I won't need Fischl from here on out. Okay. And then we can just go ahead and kill this thing. Okay, so not bad. Let's see, can I get this? 38. Oh, too bad. Anyways, so that's kind of how I run my crew right now, and they do what I need them to be able to, get what I need done. So anyways, I know it's been a long one here, and if you've stuck through it, that's crazy. So thanks a lot, everyone, and we'll be back to Code Vein tomorrow.